everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Versus4 with me, the United City FM. We are at Juventus, and we are not the only ones. There are 8 content creators in total, all playing as Juventus in their own saves to see who can, in one season, get the most amount of points in Serie A. All the links to the other content creators are in the description below. Go and check out their channels. There was some really interesting first episodes that went out last week from them all. There'll also be a highlight episode put out by the Custard Prophet a couple of days ago from the point where you watch this video. I'm recording this a little bit in advance, but he'll have put out a highlight video of week 1 and what everybody did. So if you want to catch up with that, go and check the Custard Prophet's channel and look out for his highlight video. But we are now in episode 2, and episode 2 for everybody will be the 11th game in Serie A. And that will be different in terms of who they're playing for each, because we haven't got the same fixture lists. So it could be all sorts of different teams that they're playing. For us, we have Verona. And that's not a bad team for us to be playing. Verona sit currently in 14th place. We are in 3rd, and we're doing okay. I think it's fair to say that it's been a little bit mixed, but overall not bad at all. You can see that we got a really good start through the friendlies. We got a very good start in the league campaign, 3 straight wins, and then a 4th win in the Champions League group stage as well against Lille. We've got a really interesting group with Lille and Shakhtar and Valencia in it, so there's some challenging fixtures there. Then we came a crop up. We played Lazio and we lost 2-0, and it wasn't a good performance in any way, shape or form. We pretty much had our full strength side out, and we just couldn't find a way to get going in the game. We got a few shots at goal, but only 3 on target. And it just, one of those days where it didn't work at all, and we got beaten 2-0 by a good Lazio side, and that was just a little bit of a blip. We went back to winning ways a little bit through Sampdoria, Milan in the league, which was good. We then won against Shakhtar in the Champions League group stage, and then we hit the second stumbling block, and it was a bunch of games where we couldn't get the win. Fortunately, we didn't lose. We got 3 draws in a row. Couple of 1-alls in the league against Bologna and Fiorentina, and then Valencia 0-0 in the Champions League group stage before we came back to form against Napoli and Lecce with a 3-0 and 4-1 win. So it's been a bit mixed for such a short period of games. I would have loved to have taken a couple of these draws away. Obviously not have lost any of them if possible, but a couple of those draws were a bit of a problem. In the Champions League group stage, we're doing very well. We're sitting top of the table at the moment. So it looks like we're going to be on course for going through there as long as we perform well in the second set of fixtures in the group stage. So that's good. So we've got those coming up. We've also got the Supercoppa final coming up against Lazio at the end of the year, but we're not bothered about that particular game. And then later on, as we progress through, it'll be cup competitions and all sorts of things, but we will be focusing our efforts on the league for the episodes, because that's where we win the points that we need for trying to win in the group that we've been given. Out of the 8 content creators, there are 2 groups of 4, and the top 2 after the first season go through to play a second season to determine the outright winner of Versus4. So there's still much more to come, and my only aim at this precise moment is to try and get as much points as we can to get through to that second season, if at all possible. I'm sure there are going to be the other content creators, some of them will go unbeaten through this period. I'm sure they will. We'll just have to see how well they've been doing. But this is where it gets interesting. Second episodes are dropping, and we'll begin to see who's succeeding and who's not. So I would say it's been a little bit average. I'm not as happy as I'd like to be, but I think the second half of the season is going to build and build to a side that's going to play much better, just as we get used to playing in the tactic that I've got and with each other. So that's my thought. That's where we are. We can work even harder, I'm sure, to get better results, and we'll continue to do that. And it all starts today against Verona. and they're a good opposition for us, as I say. In terms of the personnel that we've got, you can see that most players in the squad have now been given some game time. Some more than others, absolutely, but most of them have played a bit. And there are some that probably won't play much at all through the rest of this season even. But yeah, most of them have played all right. Costa has got a little bit of a knock, so he's going to be out for today's game, as his position on the bench has gone just because of that knock. But fortunately, everybody else is fit. So we can name pretty much our first 11. And you can see that the bulk of them have been playing quite well, really. And I even think for Szczesny as a goalkeeper in Football Manager 20 to get a 6.9 something average rating is pretty decent. I think it's almost impossible to get above a 7 point something average rating for a goalkeeper. So I think overall we're doing very well. And recent form in the last couple of games has been really strong. So hopefully that continues today. So with Costa out, the only change that we've made is on the bench. So it means that our first 11 are out on the pitch, and that means Szczesny in goal, Bonucci and De Ligt in central defence, Danilo at right back, Sandro at left back, Matuidi, Pjanic and Bentancur in central midfield, with Dybala and Ronaldo supporting Higuain up top, and everybody else on the bench. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So assertively, I've suggested them that we should be winning this one comfortably, and if you play your game properly, then you will. So go out there and do that, basically. Put the onus on them. It was quite assertive, though. I really want them to start being more consistent in their form and dominating some of these teams. We are Juventus, and we are a very, very good set of players, and we aren't quite showing it in the consistent manner that I want us to. So today is a good opportunity to keep a small amount of good form going. We lost the ball in central midfield there, though, and Verona have had to go all the way back to the goalkeeper to maintain possession, but they've done it very nicely, and they find DiMarco down the left-hand side, but Danilo steps in and takes the ball away from them. Dybala onto Higuain, holds the ball up for Danilo down the right-hand side again, continues to progress, and then we drop it back and maintain possession, sweep it over to the left-hand side, which is where most of our damage comes from in the formation that we set up. And there's a good chance, and Higuain had a shot blocked, and it was at point blank range, and I think Verona were a little bit lucky there, to be honest. I think there was some good work down the left hand side to get a cross in, and then that pot shot rebounded off a player rather than them blocking it themselves, I would suggest. Yeah, a little bit disappointing on that one, but you can see that we've started well in terms of the match stats for the day so far. 1 shot for Verona, 9 for us, 4 on target. So we're doing pretty well. In terms of possession, it's right up there as well. Can we turn that dominance into goals, though? It's not been as prolific as I'd like at times, but then on other games, just all of a sudden, we seem to do better than Dybala did then. What was that? He got all the way through to the top of the penalty box and then just blasted it almost towards the corner flag than the goal. Oh dear. But Verona have kicked themselves in the foot by getting a second yellow card for Zaccagni. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. And he gets sent off just at the end of the first half, and Verona are helping us out all they can. Means that we get to play against 10 men in the second half, and we are going to have to put the onus on this team to do something with that. So passionately, assertively, we're going to say, I'm not happy with the performance out there, because they need to be doing better. And as soon as we get them back out into the second half, I'm going to pause the game and just go into the shouts and absolutely demand more from them. So it should start the second half with a wave of positivity to focus on actually achieving something from this game. It's wide open for us to take the points here, but we've got to find a way through. And just at the moment, it's a little bit flat. Verona have gone into a really defensive structure that we are not breaking down and not getting the highlights from. Highlight now off a throw-in down this left-hand side, and it back to Sandro in the end, onto the top of the box to Pjanic, and we work the ball across the top of the box, right the way over to the far side to Danilo, back again to Pjanic, and we'll just hopefully draw Verona out a little bit from their defensive shape and find the gap somewhere. But they're keeping it solid so far, and we're having to go right the way back to De Ligt in central defence to keep the ball. But eventually we work it down the left-hand side to Ronaldo, and then another really, really weak shot from Ronaldo. And again, we don't make the opportunity count. And it's Verona with the ball. Can we pin them back now? They've had to go long, but they succeed going long down the left-hand side, and they keep the ball in defensive area. Then they go long themselves and they lose it. And we pick it up from Dybala onto Ronaldo. Bentancur picks up the ball in midfield, and we settle the play down again down the right-hand side. Danilo with lots of space. Can he work the space very nicely? Matuidi, Dybala back out to Danilo. Stops it from going out of play. Drops it back to Dybala. Cross comes in to Bentancur. And that was a lovely headed goal by him from just inside the penalty box. You saw he ran on to the good cross by Dybala and comfortably cushioned the header into the goal, and the goalkeeper stood no chance. Nice move down the right-hand side. People were suggesting to me that we were too heavily predictable down the left-hand side with the way we're set up. You can see that we still do stuff down the right. It's just that more of our stuff happens down the left, that's all. But it was a good move, and finally we got the breakthrough, and finally we can come in and have a look at where we're going wrong. And it's quite obvious, isn't it, really? Higuain's got a 6.2 average rating and is nervous for the day. So he comes out and Dembele comes on. Ronaldo is going to be a little bit lucky because Costa's not on the bench. So I'm going to leave him on. But he's got to pull up a few trees in the remainder of this game because he's not performed very well at all today. We've got a couple of yellow cards and a bit of nerves at the back. Do we change one of them or do we change Matuidi? I think we're going to change De Ligt at the centre of our defence and take that yellow card away, bring in Demirel and just allow him to play for a few minutes towards the end of the game, and hopefully we can maintain our structure and our discipline enough to at least just not concede a goal, even if we don't score anymore. I'd like to score at least another one though, and just start to fill our boots a little bit now that we are playing against 10 men after all. Sandro down the left-hand side into the box, and surely they've given us a penalty kick. And the referee, I don't know why he has to go and have a look at this one at all. Seemed blatantly obvious. Sandro got into the box, ran past the defender, tapped the ball away from himself, and the defender clipped his heels and brought him down, and surely we've been given a penalty kick. Out comes the referee, makes the VAR symbol and gives us the penalty kick. Fantastic. Good chance for us to pick up a 2-0 win here. And it will, of course, be Ronaldo on the penalty kick. Right-footed, steps up. And will he put it calmly away with no issues at all? Been a little bit inconsistent. Can he find it today, though? He can, comfortably puts it away. 2-0, Ronaldo on the score sheet. He's, along with Higuain, he's been our top scorer, but they've only got 5 apiece after 10 matches. It's not quite as much as you'd want them to have, but I think they're still finding their feet in the formation that I've given them. It's a bit of an odd formation, structure of play, etc., but it will work as they get used to it. I really do believe in it. So 90 minutes gone. We're now finally 2-0 up and can rest a little bit easy. We continue to pick up the points, which is the positive and important thing. So we continue to be setting targets for other content creators to try and stick with us for. As I say, I am sure some of them at this point are probably unbeaten. This is Juventus. We've had a slightly sticky start, but if we can just continue this run of form that we're currently in, then I think we're going to be okay moving forward. You can see just that turn of results. The last few games have looked a bit better. So where do we come back for next? Well, we're doing it quite quickly. There's only going to be about 4 or 5 episodes in this season because there's so many different episodes to watch from all the content creators. So what it means is next episode, we're going to come back and we're going to play, I think it's the 22nd match in the Serie A. And I haven't figured that exactly, but I think it's about Parma for me, early February. So we're going to come back and play the 22nd match in Serie A as the next one, which is the game everybody will be coming back to play. You can see that we've jumped ahead to the top of the table, but Lazio have still got that game to play and could potentially jump again to the top themselves. But we're still there, in with a shout, doing pretty well. And so far, it's been all right. Second half of the season has to be excellent. And that's what we're looking for. So join me next episode to see how we're getting on and to see whether we've maintained the form that we're currently in. Join all of the other content creators for their second episode. Go and check out what they're doing and what you like about their setups and how they're getting Juventus to play themselves. There's some really interesting scorelines from the first episode. So yeah, go and check them all out. All the links in the description below to all of their channels. So go and find what they're up to and go and check out the Custard Prophet, who will put out a highlight package every week to show you what happens in each week, each game week. So yeah, it's a good fun episode, series. I can't get my words out. It's a good fun series because you've got no clue at this point, sitting here on my own, recording my 11th game, what anybody else is doing. They could all have gone undefeated. They could all lose all of their games. Who knows what's going on? And I'll only find out when you find out. So we'll go and watch some of the episodes and see how they're getting on. Anyway, enough blather from me. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're enjoying this series. I hope you're enjoying all the content from all the different creators. Go and support them all and share the love amongst them. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Click that like button if you haven't. Help it get seen by lots of other people. Until next time though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.